Hey house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother 17 updates and spoilers. Our house guest of the day is Kenneth Madison, and he wants to know, would I rather be in the house and play the game or be at home and keep making these videos? That's a great question. I think you guys can probably guess. I would definitely love to be on the show, like in the game. I want to play that game so badly. It'd be a dream come true. I've been wanting to go on the show since I was like 8 or 9 when it started. Definitely. But I'd love making these videos too, don't get me wrong. I would definitely come back to it after, with great insights from the house. Okay, so let's talk about what's actually going on in the house now. So Vanessa and Austin were talking Endgame yesterday, and they were like, of course we're gonna go to the final 2 together, but who are we gonna bring to the final 3? So Austin suggests maybe Jackie because, hey, he doesn't think that she's gonna get any votes in the end. And of course, you gotta think Vanessa's wondering like, yeah, is that really a good idea? Because Jackie is definitely gonna bring you to the final 2 over me. So I don't know how she feels about that. But then Vanessa's like, well, what do you think about the twins? Like, what if we brought Liz or Julia? And Austin's just like, oh, I don't think they're gonna make it that far. So, I mean, they're gonna have huge targets on their backs once they're both in the house. So they agree that they'll feel safer when... Hercules. They agree that they're both gonna feel safer when both twins are in the house because, like I said, they're gonna be a huge target. Side note, they really want Audrey to win the next HOH. They feel like they've been protecting her for a few weeks now, so they want her to show like that she's gonna be loyal and to pay them back for that. So then Vanessa was chatting with Johnny Mac in the HOH room, and they were kind of rehashing the deal that they made when he agreed to throw the Battle of the Block competition. He followed through, so now Vanessa's got to hold up her end of the deal. So he's like, yeah, Becky and I are going to be good with you and your crew until the final 10, right? Like, that's what you said. And Vanessa's just like, wait, what? I don't remember saying that Becky was in on this. And Johnny Mac's just like, well, he was like, you said me and one other person, so that one other person is Becky. So she wasn't going to be like, no, that's not acceptable. So she was just like, oh, well, I was never going after Becky anyway. Okay, so Vanessa was then talking about the votes with Johnny Mac for this week, and she's just like, you know, I know you really want to give Jeff your vote this week, but I don't think it's a good idea. Sympathy vote or not. Because she's like, it really doesn't take much to get put up on the block, and you don't want to go up on the block for some stupid reason like this. And I'm just thinking like, he's already been up on the block the past 2 weeks once by you, so like, is it really gonna make a difference? Anyway, Johnny's like, yeah, I'm gonna think about it more. I haven't like definitely decided yet, so I'll think about it. Alright, so then, excuse me, Audrey and Liz were chatting in the backyard, and they were just like, you know what? I'm a little bit pissed because James and Jeff haven't really been campaigning yet. They didn't really ask for their votes, which isn't totally true because Jeff did say like, Liz, you better vote for me. You owe me. Look who's back. But seriously, James and Jeff haven't really been campaigning that much. It's really weird. I think it's like a combination of things. First of all, it doesn't help that they're up on the block against each other. Like, I had to censor that for you guys. I mean, they're friends, they're working together, and they feel weird campaigning against each other. Another thing, I just feel like James doesn't really know what he's doing. I don't think he knows how to do campaign. How do I do campaign? Also, it seems like Jeff thinks that he's safe. Like, I think he thinks he has the vote, so he feels like he doesn't have to go too hard with the campaigning. Also, I think he's probably waiting for today, the day before the eviction, because that's when the most effective campaigning seems to happen. So, I just have to bring this up. Clay and Audrey were super flirty yesterday. It was like the type of flirting when you're like a little kid, and you like pick on the person you like, and it's just like you're teasing them. It was totally like that. But remember like the first week when I was saying like, oh, Clay and Audrey, like there's something there. So Mama Shelly, better watch out. Audrey's gonna scoop up her man baby. So then Clay and Steve were catching up, and they were talking about some items that have gone missing in the house, like some decorations, and they're like, does this mean anything? Is this for a competition? I feel like Big Brother hasn't really done that kind of competition in a while, so I would like to see it come back, but I feel like it was probably just production moving things around, maybe to make them look better on camera or something. So I don't think it means anything, but hopefully we'll find out at some point. Oh my god. So then they were talking about the votes, and they're thinking it could be close this week. It has the potential to be close. Not a unanimous vote, which is exciting. And then they're talking about potentially working together. They don't want to solidify anything like crazy, like an alliance, but they want to work together like on a week-by-week basis. That would make me really nervous, but they seem all about it. So this is where things get really crazy. Jeff and Liz were cuddling and joking around in the comic room, and they were just like having a good time, just laughing. And then Jeff was just like, I know you have a twin, just tell me it's true. And Liz is still denying it. She's like, ha 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 ha, you probably just helped someone earn $5,000 for America's Player or whatever. So she's denying it. Then Austin walks in and he's just like, what's going on in here? What's this? So it was so freaking awkward. Liz and Jeff were just like, we're just talking, man, like calm down. So then Austin's just like, all right. So he walks out of there. It was crazy awkward. So then later on, Liz is telling Jeff like, I don't even feel that way about Austin. I don't even feel that way about Austin. And she's saying that Austin won't leave her alone, and like he was the third wheel when Jace was in the house. Whoa! Crazy, because she was kind of like acting like she likes Austin. So it's like, what's going on here? So then Austin goes and talks to Audrey, and he's freaking livid. He tells her he just walked in on them hanging out under the covers, and it's not okay. And Jeff is in there making Liz feel uncomfortable. She didn't look uncomfortable to me, just saying. I feel like she does actually have a crush on Jeff. Yeah, so it's pretty crazy. So then Austin immediately goes and talks to James, and he's like, I'm 100% keeping you this week. He tells him he's definitely voting for him. How much of that was influenced by friggin' Austin just walking in on Jeff and Liz hanging out? So James makes a deal with Austin. He's like, if you vote for me to stay this week, I promise you I'm not going to nominate you, Liz, or Vanessa if I win HOH. So that's a pretty big deal. I don't know if James is going to stick to that or what. But then Austin just like, he's trying to make Jeff look bad. He's trying to mess with James and Jeff's friendship. So he's just like, I want you to know, man, Jeff is throwing you under the bus right now. He's campaigning hardcore to Liz. So James is not happy to hear that, because James and Jeff discussed a few days ago that they were not going to campaign against each other. So James is just like, you said that? Alright, so then Austin brings up Cuddlegate with Liz. He's like, what was that all about? What was going on in there? And Liz is just like, we were just talking about life. Like, you need to get over it. And then she brings up how he's been flirting with Jackie. And he's just like, yeah, well, that's strategy. You know where my heart is. So then it's Jeff's turn to try to smooth things over with Austin. He's like, man, bro, you know I'm Team Austin. Podcast, Team Austin. Bro, dude, podcasts. So he's like, yeah, Liz and I were just talking about life. He basically said the same thing that Liz said. And then he's talking about the votes, and Jeff is like, I think I'm going to be able to stay this week. He thinks that the vote's going to be either like 6-5 or 7-4. He's feeling pretty good about it. You know what else the house guests are feeling pretty good about? They are really hoping for alcohol. They're planning out this date night, and they're like, Big Brother, if you give us booze, we guarantee that one couple will make out, blah, 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 French kiss. So the couples that are together for date night, Shelly and Clay, of course, Austin and Liz, Becky and John, Meg and Jeff, and Jackie and Steve. So they were all excited about date night, and they were being like really goofy, waiting for the alcohol. I mean, like weird, like it was like there was a gas leak in the house. Like they were being freaking weird. So they were coming up with these phrases. Like everyone pretty much except for Vanessa was hanging out in one bedroom, just like chilling. They were coming up with these phrases that everyone had to go around the room and say in a certain voice. So there was like the baby voice, and they're like, I want an apple from the apple tree outside. And then there was like this old lady who's like, Tim was supposed to be back from the store 45 minutes ago with my cigarettes. And then there was like a British one, like, will you meet me for tea and crumpets? And it was just like crazy, but it was actually really funny for the most part. And then Audrey, Shelley, Jason, and Meg were like putting on this Big Brother musical. And then they still didn't have alcohol. So they were like, it's time to clean up this house. So Shelley and Audrey were cleaning up the ocean bedroom, which was a disaster. It's like that purple room. And after they were done, prankster James went in there and tore stuff up. He's ripping comforters off the bed, he's throwing pillows around, and then everybody's just like, no! So Clay and Shelley decide they're gonna put mayo in James's Crocs. That is disgusting. It was all good fun, but that's disgusting. So then James was helping them clean up the room. It was funny. Okay. The alcohol never showed up though. And they were just like, you know what? No booze, no date night. Sorry. So we didn't get to see date night. I wouldn't be surprised though if they brought that back in the future because they seemed really excited about it. So after that was major letdown, Jeff and Jackie had a long chat in the hammock. Jeff is finally realizing that he's in trouble this week. Finally! He's just like, everyone's so fake, like you can totally tell once you're up on the block, like who's real and who's not. He's like, I'm not feeling good about Shelley and Clay. I don't think they're with me anymore. He's also feeling really disappointed in Austin. He thought they were bros. And he brings up, like, I know now how Jace felt. It sucks being backdoored. You can't really fight to stay in the game. And he brings up Jace's famous line, alliances don't mean shit to these people. Yeah. Alright, so Jeff lets Jackie know, like, I'm gonna let you know everything that I know before I leave. Wasn't he already doing that anyway? I feel like, you know, whatever. So this morning, showman's chat with Vanessa and Austin. Okay, so Vanessa is just like, Austin, I want you to know that Steve is also crushing on Liz, and Steve is under the impression that Liz likes him. So Austin is just like, oh, so sad for the nerdy little boy. So then Vanessa's like, I talked to Liz about you, and she really likes your personality, but she's like, your appearance doesn't really match. And he's just like, what's wrong with all of this? Okay, so then it's time to talk about the game again. Vanessa and Austin were discussing the votes, and they're getting a little nervous that they're not going to have the votes to get rid of Jeff this week like they planned. They're worried that Clay and Shelley are going to flip, because last night Shelley told them about this alliance, Clay and Shelley, Jackie, Jeff, and Johnny Mac. So this is pretty much like a bogus alliance, but they're a little bit worried that Shelley and Clay are going to roll with that crew instead of them. And the reason that Shelley told them about this alliance is because she thought that Jeff was going to spill the beans first. So she thought, better to tell him now than to look really bad and have it come out from Jeff. So Vanessa and Austin are already considering dumping Shelley and Clay next week if the other side of the house wins HOH. So that's pretty serious. So then Austin is like, alright, I've got to clear some things up with Liz. So he's talking to Liz, and he's trying to clarify the state of his relationship with his girlfriend outside of the house. He's just like, I want you to know, like, my girlfriend and I are not really on good terms, and before I left, we decided that we weren't going to hold each other back. Sounds weird. So he's like, I just want things to be able to, like, proceed organically between us, and I don't want this to hold us back. So Liz is just like, bless you. So then Vanessa and Liz were talking about what Austin said, and Liz is just like, I don't know what to do, like I'm so confused. And she's talking about how she doesn't want any of this on TV, so just like, it's not gonna happen. So then Vanessa brings up how Liz told Steve that she likes nerdy guys with glasses, and Liz is just like, I said nerdy but not glasses. Alright, so tomorrow is eviction night. Should be exciting because I think it's going to be a split vote, but I have a feeling that Jeff is only going to get 1 or 2 votes unless something crazy happens. But let me know who you guys want to go home Who do you think is going to win the HOH? What do you think the twist is going to be for the week? Let me know. And until tomorrow, much love.
Edit.